All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to one of my favorite Monday Maxes. This is an exciting one that I wanted to share. For some of us, being a part of the Buffini & Company, this might be a little bit of review or some tips and tricks that are new to the system. For others, you may be wondering what Referral Maker is and wanting to take a look at what we have, what it offers. As of the fourth quarter last year in 2019, they did a huge revamp on Referral Maker, which we'll go through in detail and show you, and a lot of exciting things. And so I'm super excited to share this with you. If you've logged in before, you'll notice that the landing page is generally this page right here, the members area. And so there's a little bit of navigation to get to Referral Maker in general cases. Some of us are able to go directly to into the CRM. But what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and start to travel. If you have any questions, I'm on a dual screen. So the good news is I got the chat up in one area, and then I have my screen here showing Referral Maker. And this is actually the members area dashboard. Now, the cool thing about the members area dashboard, if this is where you start, this is some quick, easy access into resources, events. You've got your dashboard here, which has new member updates. It's got all the training courses, which by the way, next Monday, the 10th, we have the Buffini & Company Masterclass in Seattle. So if you are a member, please feel free to sign up. As well as we have happening right now, Pathway to Mastery, the Essentials course, that is happening as well. And it is something where we're going to be also offering that in second quarter. And then Buffini Bold predictions. You can see what the predictions were going into 2020, and then such as that. As well as you can see, they've got a Getting Started tab here. This should help you getting started, getting through how the system works. This is something brand new where they didn't have this before. This has been since probably about second quarter last year that they updated this. So if you want to go through this, go through this section here if you haven't. A lot of stuff that you probably already know if you've been a Buffini member for a while, but some great things here. And then your resource library, you have your pop-by tags, your audio, documents, and videos. So you can click through here as well. Super easy access into those, getting those pop-by tags. And I would come and check these out because there are some new ones. So it's pretty neat that the membership continues to add in new ones. And if you ever want to create your own, you can also create them using Avery labels, 5164. I actually just purchased stickers, labels, those Avery labels, and now I start to stick those instead of printing the tags and hole punching them and that type of stuff. And so there's options there for you, and you can go and create your own. If you're a Buffini member, there is a Facebook group that you can share on, excuse me, your ideas and get some more ideas as well. And so that's pretty cool. Audio, Brian's all about training. So you have your bold predictions coming ahead in 2019. Your documents here are all those documents, coaching notes, planning calendar, the ebook, sample closing disclosure, cover letter, if you send those out. And so this business planning calendar is a great calendar. If you're a coaching member, your coaches put you through that. But if you're not and you're more self-guided, this calendar is fantastic in setting up your year. And so it's something that I would encourage you to print out. It gives you a reason to call, pop-by gift, video email message. If you're going to do a client party, business mixer, who are you going to endorse on your B2B or your items of value. And those are, if you have those personalized items of value, you'll be able to do that. Add in any additional marketing, events and training, and then if you're taking any time off, which is super important. So this is if you haven't seen this before, this is a great document to start out the year. And let's say, you know, we're already through January. It's okay to get started in the first quarter, or even set up your second, third, and fourth quarters well before they happen, right? And now you can look ahead. What pop-by gifts are you purchasing? You know, what, you know, and I always do, you know, reason to call, how many calls I'm completing. Reason, you know, the pop-by gift, how many am I purchasing? So that way I can always look a month ahead and know how am I going to get those pop-by items. Now, it's not a perfect science. You got to keep looking at this document, right? But it is a great way to keep your year in flow. Like for me, setting up my 2020 calendar, I planned all of my personalized pop-by gifts, such as the reusable grocery bag, the coffee mugs, that type of stuff that I want to hand out that are a little bit more personalized to my business. They're going out late second into third, fourth quarter, because I plan on February at R4 to go to those booths and purchase them there. And so that way I can see it, feel it, know exactly what I want to buy. And so that's just something to kind of think through. For me, I do 2 client parties a year. I do one in second quarter and then one again in fourth quarter. My fourth quarter one is my reverse pie buy or pie party. My second quarter one, I'm a sports fan, so I love to, I love to go to ball games. And so I'm getting some ideas of if I'm going to do Sounders like I did last year, Mariners, or even maybe an XFL game. So I'll keep you guys in the loop of what I do. But this is a great document, great resource here that you have. You got some scripts and then also some pop-by takes. But come and check this stuff out. You know, all of this is at your fingertips. Under videos, you have bold predictions. This one probably needs to be a little bit updated since we're already past 2019 mid-year point, but it's one of those things that always keep coming back here, and that type of stuff will be updated. So let's go ahead. Is there any questions about the dashboard? For some of you, is this the first time that you're seeing this? Has anybody come in here and played with it? Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to find this tic-tac-toe menu right here in the corner where it says access all Brian Buffini company sites and universal menu. Now you may not have all of these set up. See, it gives you your, right next to your name, it gives you what status you are, I guess, with Buffini & Company. And because I'm one-to-one, I'll have the heritage profile. There's also training. You may not have a training button because I'm doing Peak Producer or did Peak Producers and now Pathway to Mastery. That's how I access through there. You may, because they used to put the blitz in there as well. So it's one of those things where come in and check it out. But let's go ahead and go into Referral Maker and be amazed. It has changed. It's one of those really cool things. One of the things I do miss, I'll just tell you right off the bat, is the little icons on the top of the screen that tell you, if you won the day, won the week, a refer, that type of stuff. Those stuff I do miss in regards to, having that up there. I love kind of seeing those awards per se. But when you come in immediately, you've got here your today's activities. So these are like that little screen that we used to be able to go to that had, what is that, under relationships? It was, ideas, who to call, and it had 5 folks. You can go through here, right? And you'll have really quickly 1 to call, 1 note, 1 pop by. Right. And so you can see, that once that's that quick kind of click through. So because I don't want to send one to Sterling just yet, but let's say I said postpone, then Nick level comes up, right? So you can go through here and start to do that. And as you do, your calls completed, note sent, and visit completed, your status in the win the day will come up, and then also update in your win the week. And so this is that quick call button right there. And then you have your win the day and win the week status. So it already sets you up for how many calls you need to make today, how many notes, how many pop-bys delivered, any database additions, referrals given, referrals received. Video text is one that I set up in there, and then coffees and meals. And so then it has the same status that you can. Now blue is just like something in blue in Referral Maker is just like Booge. Something blue goes to something new, right? And so you can go into those weekly goals and you can adjust those right there from the screen. You don't have to hunt and peck. And then if you notice on the left-hand side, you'll notice that the business tab opened up and it highlighted where you can go, which is weekly activity goals. So it's one of those things where the system's smart enough not only to take you someplace new, but it also is going to show you on the left-hand side where it is if you just went from dashboard to this section here. And once in the goals, you can really add, you can take away, you can add new goals. And this is set up for weekly, right? And so it's one of those things, the number you're going to put in here is weekly. And if you wanted to create a custom goal, you can select custom goal, right? Is it a B2B meeting, client breakfast and lunch, or add custom goal? If you do add custom goal, it wants you to put that in there. What is it? And then, so it can be whatever you want it to be. I've already got coffees and meals and video texts, right? And so let's just say for fun, what should we call it? Let's get an idea here. Trying to think. Let's do B2B calls, because maybe you set up your B2B calls not in your calls. Those might be just to folks in the database, whereas this is more you want to grow your B2B business. So let's add goal. It's going to add the goal right here. And then let's say we want to do, let's do how many calls a week? Let's do 4 calls a week for that, right? And then so here you can edit it, right? If we wanted to change B2B calls, here it goes on your dashboard, and here's how to delete. So if we want it to show up on our dashboard, then we would just click here. And now it's on the dashboard, and we would save settings. And so if we go back to our dashboard, now you can see, oh, I've got, that didn't save. Not 0 B2B calls, we have 4. Let's try that. Save goal. And now we go to dashboard. And so now you have 1 call to make for B2B. And so it's one of those things you can really set this up and really customize this to what you want it to look like. And so it's one of those things you can really put in your goals. You have your to-do screen, and so you can actually add a to-do, or the system will remind you. If you do items of value, it'll tell you to 1, get your items of value in, 2:15, send out the e-report. Now, if you click send e-report, ready? It's going to take you to the e-report. And so now you can go through and get that all set up and send. And we'll get into that in just a moment. But I just wanted to show you, so click something blue, it turns to something new. And then you have, your other to-dos. It shows your recent activity of what you've done as far as calls and notes. And then it has your calendar. Now, with this calendar, it's great. And I've had them synced up before with Backagent, my Gmail, and this calendar. It's just a lot of redundancy. So I would the pro tip is pick a calendar and just stick with it, because all of these systems offer calendars, which are awesome. And if you put it in here, it will show up in your to-dos here. So there's that. You also have live support, live chat you can do now with somebody in Buffini, or you can call. You also have email support and help. So, and then because the system's all about referrals, you also have a tell a friend button. And so you can see how many, you can get out there and refer that as well. And then if you want to download the app is right here. And then also it shows your database. And so if I included linked spouses, remember with Buffini, it's a little bit different because spouses are counted somewhat separately, but also together. And so this gives you the account of A pluses, A's, B's, and C's. And then if I didn't want the spouses in there, you can just see the households, right, of A, B's, and C's. You can see focuses on lead gen, right? If your A's are 14%, A's are 38, and so you can go through that as well. So any questions on this front screen at all? I did get one question in regards to how do you access this program? Someone was asking, you know, is this like where you have to subscribe to it, or is this something that Remax offers? This is a subscription based through Buffini and Company. And so it is something to get this CRM. It is a separate charge. I know they were just doing a sale for this to be just the Referral Maker at $20 a month to access this site. Now you wouldn't get the full use of it in regards to the pop-by tags and such as that, but you would have the access to hold your calls. There's also Referral Maker Pro is another level, which allows you to send out items of value. You get note cards, pop-by tags, and you can, it's a little bit more robust. And then the final level is coaching, and that's split up into two, which you have group coaching and then one-to-one. And so those are a lot more where you're able to access a lot more of the site. So, and so those are those three levels that you can choose. So if we go down to relationship here from dashboard, since we don't have any questions on that, I don't see any popping up or anybody raising the hand here. We have very similar things that we had the last time. Priority action management or action center. See, this is where you have the 5, where you can make a note and then hit call completed. Here's your notes, your pop buys, and then your buyers and your sellers. Now, the only way you get the buyers and the sellers is if you use the deal section that I'm going to show you in just a moment. But it is absolutely a fantastic section to use. And so therefore, that's how you get that, and that's how you can stay in flow with them, select the activity that you want to make, and then you can save the activity. This is great if you don't know who to call in your, you know, like if you're hitting a spot where you're like, I don't know who to reach out to. This is a fantastic section to go to. And I know right off the bat, because my lead gen time, I have now set it up to being Wednesdays for 2 hours. I know that if I spent 2 hours, and this is totally time blocked, I have an accountability partner in the room with me. We push each other to make the calls and do the notes. And I know that if I ever hit a mental block, I can come here and I've got 5 people who I can call very, very quickly. And so it's a great idea to get there. And then that marketing calendar that I showed you, if you're really setting up a reason to call, now you have a reason to call and you already know the 5 people you're going to call. And the good news is if you have more than 5, once I make my call completed to Scott Bohr, the next person pops up. So I can roll through my database, make my 8 calls very, very quickly because I've got it all set up right here. Who should I call? And what the system is very, very intelligent to do is who's the people we should connect to first every month. We should connect with first, our A pluses, right? These are the people that are most likely to refer us. And so getting through this, these are the folks that I would call because these are those opportunities to reach out. Now, you'll notice that it has the last time called on there. This does not update if you called a spouse. So like in the case with Scott, I actually talked to Patty last time. It hasn't been over a year and a half since I talked to Scott. It's just more that Patty answers the phone, but Scott was the first person I put in the contact. Same with Nick. It hasn't been since May. I talked to Elizabeth just in December. And so it's one of those things where you can see, okay, this is the last time you contacted those folks. And so it is something in there. It gives you that heads up, especially if it's been a while. Now, if it's been something where you've seen them quite recently, or talked to them quite recently, they're not going to come up as quickly. So those that are concerned of, I already called through my database, they're going to have me call through it again. You'd be surprised how quickly time passes for you to get through, calling people and staying in flow. Next section is your to-dos. This has your to-dos. You can see I'm a little bit behind here on clicking off my to-dos, but Fred Schmidt's birthday was on the 2nd of January. Did a video email to him, and so I click that complete. It goes away, right? And so this allows you to stay up and date with your to-dos. So you'll have red is past, blue is coming up. And so that's great to be able to see that in regards to, and you can also do show complete. And so it has the completed ones as well. And then recent contact activity, it will show you everybody that you've followed up with recently. And if there's ever anything where, I don't know about you, but if you've made a mistake of, I accidentally put it as a call and it was a note, you can go in here and you can update that by clicking on the person's name. It brings up their contact tab. You can come down here and then, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Recent follow-up. And now you can change that. So you can delete it and then re-put it in as what it was. So that is how you do that. So we'll go back to recent call activity. It's got all that there. You can manage relationships. And I think this is really cool, much more interactive in regards to one of the things I really like about this system, and I want to share some of the updates because for a lot of you, this is like, okay, Zach, this is the stuff I know. Like, what do you have new to share with me? If you remember the old system, if I wanted to contact Debbie, you click on it and a new window opened up here. Then you put in Debbie's contact information or what you did, and then you go back to dashboard. And next thing you know, you have 15 of these windows open, right? Because you're going back in and out of there. Well, with the new system, once I click on Debbie's name, I stay in the one window. And so now as I'm updating, I don't get as lost in that regards. And so it's really, really cool in that regards of being able to do that. And so you have managed relationships, managed groups. Some of you may not have known about this group where you can actually set up groups in the system. Like for me, I set up my Pie Party invitees list. And so I can go into my group here. And then everything that I send from, like when I set up a campaign, when we get there, everything that I send into this group, it's going to go to these 115 members. It's not going to go over to these members. And so if I wanted to add somebody, like let's say Cody, he's a real good guy. Let's get him in that group now. Now Cody gets in there. Now it's 116. Let's say, you know what, Cody's been kind of difficult. I really don't want to see him at the Pie Party. He can come out of there as well. So very simple. And so if you haven't been using groups, this is a great way to set up for client parties invitees. This is a great way to set up if you're doing items of value and you want to print out your tags from the system, your e-reports, who you know wants to get e-reports and that type of stuff. This is a great place to set up groups. And so you can go in here and do that. The other thing too is this is a quick way to do the export button if you wanted to add people into Booge, but we'll show you how to do that as well down here. Here's how you import relationships. I won't get into that. But then people also always ask me, like, I've got online leads. They're not really contacts or people that I'm going to follow up often. This is also a spot where you can import online leads from a system. So like if you had Zillow, Realtor, Lead Street, that type of stuff, you can pull an Excel sheet out of there and upload it into this system, and then it allows you to manage those online leads here. And so again, it can let you know who you keep informed with and that type of stuff. If you ever need to export from the system, this export button, again, very, very similar to, it is actually the Manage Contacts button. You would click that all, and then you would hit Export Groups. If you're going to do, like, if you're going to export this and put it into Booge, you want to include spouses as a separate record because Booge doesn't allow for, it doesn't speak the same language as Referral Maker. So Referral Maker, you can input name of the person, name of the spouse, and it will come in and they can separate that out as into two contact tabs. Whereas with Booge, it's very, very different. So that is something that you'll want to do, but you can export very, very quickly. Going to the marketing tab, And again, the cool thing is by opening up these windows, it's all very interactive on the left side. And so you can go through all that. You have your marketing campaigns. This is where you can set up your cover letter, your e-report, right? You can set up your client appreciation. My soccer palooza, I had a campaign in there that I started creating for my client party. Your marketing materials. This is where you can get your old items of value. So coming up that I've sent out in February is this. It's time for tax time. Now with this, let's say you have over 100 folks and you burn through items of value. Here's a spot where you can actually download it and print out more. So that is still an option as well. And what you'll notice is here under marketing materials, you have your cover letter, your e-report, note cards, and coaching tips. And the value, I'd like the cover letter, please. Now you can download it or edit and print it from the system here. And then it also has its Marches that's upcoming, so that it's not quite ready to edit and download, but at least you know what's coming up next. E-report, if you're ready to send the e-report, you can do that, or you can download it as a JPEG if you want to send it through something else, or download it as a PDF. But e-report comes up right there. Note cards, here's the note cards of what they're going to look like. And so you can prepare yourself, and then the upcoming ones. And so it's one of those really cool things. You can see some archived ones as well, and go through there. And then I'm not sure if you, for me, I would have this for coaches tips, but it is something where, again, it gives you some Popeye ideas, some dialogue for follow-up calls, and then some B2B ideas as well. Any questions so far? Okay. Send emails. You can send an email through here. This is where groups are really great, because when I'm setting up for my pie party, I can select my pie party invitees, add. Now they're all in there. I can even select what email I'd like, right? Or I can create one. And now I can put it all together, and I just click send. I can also send test email too, so I can see what it looks like before sending it out. Print letters. Again, this is something where you can create that item of value, right? Tax time 2020, what's new? And then you can select a header. If you want to make a header, here's where you can put a header all together. So you can really customize it within the system. The system's really made to help you just point click as you get it set up. It also has past communications. You can do personalized marketing. Now I can do that because I get the personalized items of value. If you don't do the personalized items of value, you won't have this screen, but this is where I can edit the back of my items of value, or the front where my face and name are. Reports and presentations, here's where you get the whole marketing guide, or if you're a coaching member, the Brian Buffini real estate report. Again, those are stuff, if you want to use it, that's up to you. And then another Popeye tags, right, where you can get Popeye tags, a separate spot. And then this is your unsubscribed report. And this is really, really important, because here you go. Here's 2 people on the dates where they've said, you know what, I don't want any emails from you like that, because it can come across spammy. And because it's coming as a group email, it can come across to people where they have that unsubscribe button. Now, the good news is Joe Kaiser is a good friend, and Christy Padilla is my mom. So I'm not too worried about this unsubscribe list, because we stay in flow often, that it's one of those pieces they're just not using. So, but under your marketing tab, there's so many cool things that you can get into, point and click, very, very simple to get to. And so do we have any questions about these 2 tabs? Very, very, I mean, these are primarily where I spend 85% of my time in Referral Maker, maybe 90%, honestly, because I really don't get, so inundated. I update my numbers, but I don't sit there and stare at them all day, if that makes sense. So when I'm in here, I'm primarily in relationships. At the beginning of the month and in the middle of the month, I'm in marketing. And then when I'm with my coach, then we get into business, which your business dashboard is awesome. I love how they have it set up, because it's one of those things where it's very, very easy to read, to understand. And then it's also great to follow along. So you can see right now, starting in this year, I have a goal of 29 referrals, 29.4 referrals. I have 3 generated year to date, 1 closed year to date. 100% of my business is in the last 12 months is referrals. It takes 20 contacts to 1 referral and then 2 referrals to a close. Last year, I hit a little bit of an issue with tracking. If you're not tracking in the system, this number is going to be just out there. Like it'll be like 40 to 1, 50 to 1, because if you're not tracking it, it's hard for the system to understand. You can see in your pipeline goals 188, right? Right now I've earned 10, pending is 51, and then active and potential, if you're putting stuff in there, is 72. And so here we are in February, and right now I'm trending where I would like to be for the year. It tells you how many active listings, active buyers, what your average sale price in the last 12 months have been, sales to list price in the last 12 months. So if you ever are looking for that stat, if you're tracking it in here, you'll see very quickly what's happening. Average sale price over the last 12 months. So this is list price and sale price. Average day to close, 79 days. So what that means is from start to when it closes, and then average commission over the last 12 months is that, and then average gross commission. So this really allows you to know your numbers very, very quickly. And it's so simple to update this stuff to where you can go in here and pull from. So going into transactions, what I love about this is before you couldn't switch between years. But right now we're in 2020. These folks are potential. So what a potential is someone that talked to you about buying, because this is or buying or selling, excuse me. They have also stated that they're interested in doing that. They're not either qualified or they haven't actively started looking. So everyone on this list is either hasn't started actively looking or is still going through the qualified process. In the active tab, these are folks who are actively looking for homes. Now, I'm changing my process as far as under potentials. You'll start to see, if you came into my system again, you'll start to see that these numbers will be a lot closer to like 2 weeks from now or a week from now, because this is what I'm going to use to follow up. So I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to call Ryan, Dustin, Cody, Michael, and Lance, and I'm going to call and follow up with them by 2:15. So I'll put a 2:15 in there, and that will be my follow-up goals with them. Actives, you have your actives. Now, these are kind of ideas of when they would like to close, kind of where they're hunting at, gives you an idea of where you'll be there. And then pendings. Pendings are really cool because this is what you have on the line, right? This is what you're fighting for. This is what you're working towards. And so this is a real cool tab to, follow along with that. And then you have your closed. So you can see, okay, here is that closed. And then what I really, really like about it is you can go past years and you can see, how am I doing? And I'll show you another screen, how are things going? Or you can do all and have them all right there and have just a good slice of what's going on in that regards. And then if you have any non-converted ones as well, you have your business goals that you've set in here, and that sets up your contact list. You have your weekly activity goals, property matches if you're able to put a property match together, and then expenses if you put your expenses in here as well. I don't. And so it's just one of those things where this is a system that you can track your expenses. Now, if you go to reports, lead generation activity reports, this is going to give you 2020 by week. Update report. And so you can see, I have 1-6, I had 8 or 22 as a goal, face-to-face, voice-to-voice. I had 8, so that's 36%. Had 100% on calls, 0% on pop-bys, right? Only 4 out of 10. And so you can check, you can follow along and see where's the area that you need to work on. And last week I did 8 Popeyes that I didn't even put in here. So this number is all going to change when I put in those 8 Popeyes by the end of today. And so you can follow along with that. You can also see who your top referrer is. And we're just going to do it live. I can tell you right now who the top referrer is. It's generating that. So you can see no name given. Because I wasn't actively, with my first couple of years, I wasn't actively tracking referrals. There's 33 total referrals that are in 30 transactions that have no names to them. But we have Tom, Michelle, Brandon, Elizabeth, Sarah. They're all folks that have been sending referrals, referred transactions, and then you can see how many of those closed. So that's really cool. As long as you're keeping up the flow with that, of how things are going, it's a great thing to have as well. Closed transaction report. So this is really, really cool in regards to, this is showing you how many transactions you have. It shows you how 2019, 18, right, goes, your volume, and then what's coming into your pocket, right, or gross commissions right here. And so this is a great thing to follow along with and see, how am I doing to goal? How's everything going? And if you want to see areas of success, you click on that, and everything green is an area of success, areas of improvement. And then you'll start to see everything in orange, areas of improvement. You can see this year already, there's areas to improve. And so this is just a great way to see how's your business doing, right? You have birthdays or transaction lead source, birthdays, anniversary reports that you can pull up. So this report tab is absolutely fantastic. You have a team section. So if you have a team, you can have your team working at a referral maker, and it allows you to track that activity as well. And then the last one is Buffini Referral Network and Buffini Groups. Referral Network is something new is in regards to that they've been really, really playing around with this. They used to have a company handle it, and it didn't really go well. At first, it took off really, really well, but then they had a lot of issues with it. So they've gone back to the blue dots. And so now we can see if we're looking for someone in Snohomish, Washington, it will update here, and you can see all the agents that serve Snohomish. And there should be a map that pops up with some blue dots here. But these are folks that you can, and now you're not going to really want to connect with anybody in Snohomish, but these are the blue dots of the areas of people who serve that area. So with like Brian, where I've connected with him, he's actually a mortgage broker. And so you can connect with him and send a referral, and it can all be handled through that system there. And so this is really cool because it gives you the level that they're at, one-to-one, how many years they've been there. And then also it will tell you if they're, let's like click on our friend Kathy here. So one-to-one coaching, 17 years in Buffini, certified mentor and facilitator, and then general designations. And so someone can click on here and see about you, what's your picture, what level you're at. And so it's really, really cool. And then Buffini Groups, if that's something that interests you, this is just another layer of accountability. Now, for me, I'm in a Buffini group, so it tells me where our next meeting's at, and location. It gives me the assignment, and it's all off the podcast. And it's a great time to sit down and mastermind. And so you can go in there and take a look at what groups are there. And join a group if there's one that's open. You can find a new group, request to start a group. For me, I can leave a group. I don't want to leave my group. And so it's a cool place to go for some masterminding. But that's all found here in Referral Maker, to where you can keep everything in line, right? And so that is it. I mean, basically calendar, like I said, and then settings as well. I just went through the left side of the tab so I can show you, what type of things you can go through and play with. I mean, it's an awesome system. I love the changes that they did. I feel like everything was for the better. There's nothing that I have a gripe with. I really, really enjoy Referral Maker CRM. I think it's funny. It kind of came out around the same time as Booge. and so it's kind of cool to see how both these systems interact a little bit differently, but somewhat similar. So it's really, really neat. I love the changes that they did, and there's a lot of ease of use with it. So, but any specific Referral Maker questions? I feel like I've been talking for a while, and I'd love to know if there's something specifically you wish you saw, something that you wish got brought up or that you'd like to bring up. It is an open floor. Does everyone enjoy using Referral Maker? Anybody, this is the first time that they're seeing it? Oh, got a comment here. This is my first time seeing it. Awesome, Britt. That's cool. It's what I was talking to somebody the other day because it got brought up, and I'm sure you want to know the answer to this question. So we have Boosh, and there's also Referral Maker as an option. And I get this question often. Well, which one are you going to use? You know, it's something that I really, really enjoy both systems. Currently, and this is not sustainable over the long haul, but currently I am actively using both because I'm coached by a Buffini coach, Buffini and Company coach. It is it's required, first of all, but it's so much easier to connect with my coach when I'm using my Referral Maker CRM. When I'm recruiting or I'm in retention with us as agents or recruiting new agents, when I'm working my referral database with other REMAX members, that's Boosh, all Boosh. I don't have you guys in my Referral Maker CRM. I don't have recruits in Referral Maker CRM. I have those safely in Boosh because the way that Boosh allows you to tag people and really organize them into your business is better than what Buffini has. Buffini for Referral Maker is solely set up for if you're working the Buffini system. If you're like in mind capture events with Scott and Tony Robleski, right? Scott talked about during the 12-week years session, he says, what is the one, your area, right? What is that one coach that you're doing, or what's your one system? If your system is like or is the Buffini system, there's no better CRM than the Buffini CRM because it is tailored around the calls you made, the notes you write, the pop-bys you do. Boosh does not have those set up yet to where you can track them as easily as you can in Buffini. So if you do calls, notes, and pop-bys, this is your system for sure. If you're really, really organized and you want a one-stop system for everything, website, calendar, task manager, deal pipeline, and it's your one-stop shop, then Boosh is it. Boosh, as far as the deal pipeline, going into your task manager, going into your websites, collecting lead data, that's your top notch. Can't get any better. And so, like I said, it really depends on what your business is, because this is a great program of staying in flow with people. It's a great program in seeing the calls made, notes written, your pop-bys, setting out items of value. I don't even have to think about it. It's point and click. Over my five plus years, I haven't missed an item of value yet, because this has been such an easy system to use. And so it's definitely something that if you're interested in, to get kind of a free trial, and I say that in air quotations, I would take Pathway to Mastery Essentials course. In doing that, you get a 30-day, during the course you get this, but then you have a 30-day free trial of Referral Maker to really see how it fits in your business. And so that way you can really see and tailor it to yourself. So any questions outside of that? Well, if I don't have anybody else, what I will say is thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something new. If you ever have a question about Referral Maker, please feel free to reach out. I know myself, Kathy, we're the facilitators and mentors that, this is our job to really, really understand this. We are Buffini-ites, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And so it's one of those things that this is my system. This is what I really work hard with in my business. And so I hope by peeling back the onion a little bit, showing you into my Referral Maker, that you got some ideas of how to, do your business as well. So if you have any questions about Buffini, please feel free to reach out. But until then, we will talk to you later. All right, take care, everyone.